Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. This is Lovely Being You, where you are free to be yourself. And in being yourself, tapping in, getting to know who you are, and really living those experiences out. A lot of us have different experiences, and we're not sure of what that experience consisted of. It is at that point in time where we can take that quiet time, where we can walk near a body of water, or we can sit in meditation, or we can touch some leaves, or just lean on a tree in silence. Or if we feel free, we might feel free to daydream. A lot of information comes that way as well. You know, sometimes you can't just say things right out. You have to give your information in different quantities. The story is going to play itself out, but you're not going to rush through and give too much information. What you do is you give a little bit of food here, and then you take that moment and allow people to really allow that to really penetrate into their brains and their minds. It's almost like when you take in the game of chess. When you first begin to play, you want to get to know exactly what pieces there are on the board and knowing what those pieces do. You can't just jump into the game and not even know, because it's not checkers, it's chess, right? It's important. I made that face. I winked specifically to let you know that that was a gem. We tend to do a lot of rushing in life, thinking we know so much, but not really realizing that it's going to take time to really allow some things to unfold so that we can begin learning from the actual experience. How many times have you learned something, you think you know everything, and then it falls into a different experience? It's almost like you're bragging and you're telling people something and everybody's sad, or they're annoyed with the way in which you carried, that conversation out. When people really know you, like let's say your soul tribe, when they really know you, they know what your capabilities are, they know who you are. Sometimes in families, people don't even realize who those individuals are, and they take them for granted, and they assume that those people are one way when they really aren't. It's almost like a person thinking that a person is showing off. I gotta use that example. Sometimes people will think a person is showing off, and the person is just basically trying to explain something. This is their own opinion. This is from their own perspective. What is wrong with a person expressing exactly how they feel? Sometimes you have people who are rejected. They feel rejected because a person told them that this is not something that I'm interested in doing. And they get all bent out of shape, and they go to their friends and they tell all kinds of stories, and those friends believe that person and go against the opposite person. Some time back I did a video, and the name of the title was That's So High School. That was the reason for that type of title. When you have your own personal experience, like some people have their own personal experience with God, and that person can speak from where it is that they're experiencing things. Another person, they can't have the same experience, because, or if they do have the same experience, it might be picked up differently. You and I can go to a movie. We can go to the movies, and we can see the same movie. Your opinion of the movie is going to be different from my opinion of the movie, right? Because I took in something totally different. One of my favorite movies, The Notebook. I watched that movie with somebody years ago, and the person didn't see the big deal. Like, what? Oh, this is a love movie. Oh, this is a girl's movie. This is drama. And they totally did all this talking until finally they were quiet enough to watch it and start taking it in, to know that they appreciated it. That's what balancing is. Not always assuming something, not always dancing, taking this one dance and assuming that it's going to be a fast dance all the time, or fast song to dance off of. Each experience is meant just for that, for you to experience it and to grow within the experience. When I introduced the autobiography of Malcolm X to a class full of children, and these children never read Some of them never even read a comic book, never completed a book. When these children actually finished this book, they felt instant gratification. They felt good because they were like, wow, I actually did it. I chose that book because Malcolm X had so many different lessons to learn through his own personal experience. And I also wanted people to see that, we don't want to come from a place of being racist. We want to look at things, we want to say, okay, let me give this person a chance. Let me observe where the person's coming from. And then I can draw my conclusion based upon that. Sometimes people will look at a person like Hitler. Hitler contributed some things to our society. Okay, you say, okay, you know what? I don't want to have this conversation because you're talking about him. Everyone, including myself, including you, have contributed something to a conversation, to an experience. We're all living out these experiences to grow. How are we going to grow if we don't have these experiences? It's important that we realize that while we are going through life, we're going to have these different experiences, and with these experiences, we must grow. If you don't grow, how are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to give someone else advice if you didn't have the experience? Now, I chose that book, and it was a very thick book. I only chose that book because of the point, one of the reasons why I chose the book is because I wanted them to realize that they could do it. How many times have you set out a goal? Okay, you set out and you say, okay, I'm going to do this, and you didn't complete the task. If you don't complete the task, you might say, okay, I'm not able to do it. I can't do it. No, don't think you can't do it. Look at it as it is an experience to grow from. Once I complete this experience, not only can I grow and persevere from it, but I can also share it with another person so that they might grow and have a great experience. Again, we're here for reasons. Some people don't realize what the reasons are, okay? And that's fine too. We're all going through our own growth process. While going through this process and growing, you're holding hands walking down the street. The other person might pull you to the side and say, "Ooh, be careful, there's a fast car driving past." That was an experience, right? It was an experience you had not had before, right? Especially not with this individual. We are all going through different things, okay? And as I become, or should I say, as we move closer into making certain points, we want to basically take each experience in and relax in the experience. Sometimes you get upset, you say, man, I don't even understand why God put me through that. God lets you go through it for growth. Nobody's ever going to be so happy with every experience because we're growing. You didn't like the fact that somebody stepped on your foot, right? But even though it might be hurting right now, maybe that experience was for growth. Maybe next time you will look before you leap instead, so that you won't find yourself in a hurt position. We're growing here. And while we're growing, it is a unique experience that you're having as well as myself. So let us grow, learn, and be enlightened by each experience, okay? Because it is so lovely being you.